Hey, this is Jamie from CapsuleComputers.com, and today we have the Incipio Edge and the Edge Pro hardshell slider case here to review. I decided to bundle these two together. These are actually being sold for the same price these days. At one point, the Edge Pro was supposedly sold for about $5 more, but currently they seem to be sold at the same price, and really I couldn't seem to figure out too much of a difference between the two of them, so I figure let's unbox them together and we can both take a look and see the differences. On the back, it seems like the only thing that I can tell on the back that has any difference is the fact that the Edge Pro supposedly comes with an improved camera ring, but to be honest, when I took a look at the camera rings just through the case, through the outside of the box rather, I couldn't tell the difference. So let's just open these up and get to the review. So nice thing about these slider type cases is the fact that no matter what type of dock you have, the bottom usually pops right out, so you have no problem docking it with the case on. You just have to make sure that when you're ready to you're done with the docking, just put this aside, that you just pop the bottom back on. So here we have the usual instructions with the traditional Incipio vanity kit, which is a free pack-in with a pretty cheap, but can't argue with the price type crystal screen protector with cleaning cloth and an application card. Let's put that aside, and here we have the case. As you can see, it just slides right in, and that's how you assemble it. Alright, so let's get the Edge Pro out. It looks like this one will need some convincing. Hopefully that will do. Oh. There we go. Oh, seems like alright, let's pull this out and get these aside. Alright, so both these cases will work for both the iPhone 4 and the 4S. They have, as you can see, they have a just one big cutout, so it doesn't really matter where your vibrate switch is. And of course, this too comes in with the Incipio vanity kit packed in. Alright, so looking from the inside of these, there's rubber pieces in the same places. The interior of the regular Edge is shiny, while the interior of this is matte, and the feel is about pretty much the same, to be honest. And the cutouts, the Pro has a slightly larger cutout than the regular Edge, so this will definitely fit more headphone cables. I'm actually already curious if it's going to fit some of my chunkier high-end audio cables. And let's see, the sides seems to be completely the same, and the Pro, I think, actually may have a slightly larger hole for the 30-pin dock connector. And of course, we should probably, the big deal is the camera hole. It looks like the Edge Pro may be slightly bigger camera hole, just by a bit if it is. The finish here is slightly shinier. This actually has a matte camera ring, but that seems to be about it actually. So let's get them both on. Just get them slid in here. Okay, so getting the Edge is a pretty easy task. Let's see about obviously pulling this out is going to happen a lot if you're using a dock, so... Well, this is actually a bit of a stubborn one. Alright, there we go. Let's just pull it right off screen. And... pulling it out. Alright. And then let's get the Edge Pro on. Oh, that is definitely not good for starters. It just caused the whole screen protector to bubble right up. Yep. This one is actually interfering with the screen protector in general. So, let's see if we can get it on without... Alright, and this one was actually slightly easier to pull the bottom off to dock, so that is definitely a bit of a difference right there. So let's skip ahead and go with our review. Alright, and we're back with the Edge Pro and the Edge. I actually spent most of my time reviewing this case using the Edge Pro, and one thing I want to point out is that I really noticed that I'm still having issues where if I don't put this perfectly, I'm caught, as you can see right here, I'm bubbling up the screen shield. Considering I have to put this case, I take this bottom portion of the case off and on every day, because every night rather, because I do put this on a dock. It is kind of irritating. It seems to be, I guess, more of a manufacturing thing. I noticed that I didn't have that problem with the older Edge, but I did with this one. However, I found that it was harder, as you can see earlier in this video, it was harder to remove the bottom of this case versus the bottom of this case. So, it seems to be a trade-off. I guess the main thing is to just be very careful when pulling this portion, well, putting this portion back in. The case is pretty slim. It only added about a little more than a centimeter's thickness to the case, and it has this nice rubbery matte texture that doesn't seem to be a spray. I scratched this pretty heftily, and I could not cause the finish to come off, so it seems like the grippiness is actually just a result of the finish itself rather than any coating. In practice, I didn't notice any difference between the camera ring. They said that this camera ring was supposed to be improved. I tried flash with both camera rings, and I honestly could not tell a difference in the image quality. One thing I did really like about this case, the Edge Pro in particular. Now, this Edge is an older model. I'm pretty sure by this time, I suspect that the regular Edge looks just exact like the Edge Pro. But do check this before you purchase it if you are purchasing in store. The one thing I really liked about it is this really big headphone jack. This is actually the only case that I have had that out of the box, without any modification, tweaking, or anything, fitted my Shure SE215 stock headphone cables. Usually I would have to use the mobile cables to get anything to fit, in most cases, without an adapter. However, this is so big, I was able to fit this, I was able to fit my AKG Q710 plugs in this. This thing is monstrously large. You will not need an adapter with it. The other thing I really liked is, as you can see, there's a little bit of an indent here for the power switch, although mine is actually broken, but I did find that it is really nice big area that if you're sticking in a gloved hand or anything, there's going to be a lot of room to press it down. Yet it's still, this part is still tall enough that there is a little bit of I guess a ledge here that it won't be rubbing, if you have anything rubbing, it won't be rubbing against the edge of the glass backing over here. There is a pretty decent lip to this case, so if you press the case down, and slide it around, your screen is going to be fine. Of course, as you saw earlier, as an added bonus, they throw in a screen protector in anyways. This case has taken a few good hits and has survived quite well, so I've been pretty impressed with this case. It's not very bulky, it's not particularly heavy, and for the price at $29.99, it's a pretty darn good deal. I mean, yes, you're going to pay more than your average crappy Chinese case. However, this case is very well designed, and there is no issues with the camera, which is a pretty common problem with Chinese $4 or $5 cases. So overall, I give this case a 9 out of 10. If you want to find out more about this case, scroll down below and check out my full written review at www.capsulecomputers.com.